Everyone keeps asking, how's the market? Is 2026 finally the year to make a move, or should I just sit tight? I'm Ellen Steele with Steele Portfolio Real Estate, and here's the quick answer. 2025 didn't crash the market, but it did break a lot of the myths from the 2020 to 2022 boom. Mortgage rates stayed higher, Austin prices stopped shooting straight up, buyers got picky, and design trends shifted from all white and gray to cozy, colorful, and lived in. In this first video of 2026, we'll do a fast recap of what actually happened in 2025 with rates, prices, and design trends, and then I'll share some predictions for 2026 so that you can decide if this is your year to buy, sell, or renovate in the Austin area. In 2025, mortgage rates mostly lived in the mid 6% range and up, with 30-year fixed rates hovering a little above 6% by the end of the year. So no, 3% didn't come back, but 8% didn't stick around for long either, which gave some buyers breathing room. Higher rates, inflation fatigue, and a shakier job market made buyers more cautious, and you can see that in Austin's inventory and days on market. Months of inventory climbed into the 5 to 7 month range at different points, which pushed us towards a balanced or even buyer-leaning market instead of the frenzy we saw a few years ago. Homes sat longer, negotiations came back, and list to sale prices got less aggressive. This is a very different story than in many northern markets where tight inventory still lets sellers hold most of the power. In Austin, 2025 looked more like a slow reset than a crash. Median prices dipped a few percentage points in some areas and stayed roughly flat in others, but with way more negotiation baked in. The real shift was that sellers could no longer price aspirationally and expect 10 offers on day one. The winners in 2025 were buyers who accepted 6-something rates, negotiated hard, asked for closing cost assistance, and planned to refinance later. And sellers who priced realistically, invested in presentation, and understood that 60 to 90 days on market was normal and not a failure. The losers were everyone emotionally stuck in 2021, buyers waiting for 3% rates, and sellers insisting on peak pandemic pricing. It was a completely different market, and if I had a nickel for every 2021 regret story, I would have a pretty heavy jar of nickels. Before I give you my predictions for 2026, I asked one of my favorite local lenders, Brittany Thornton, to share what she saw from the lending side in 2025 and what buyers were actually qualifying for.
Hey friends, it's Brittany with Park 65 Lending, your go-to mortgage broker. 2025 was a full-on roller coaster in real estate, and if you're in the industry, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We watched rates peak in the 8s earlier this year and then finally dip to the 6% in October. Hallelujah. My first-time home buyers finally jumped off the sidelines, prices started to drop, and suddenly all the concessions were back on the table, baby. That's the way we like it. Now, heading into 2026, my prediction isn't a crash or a boom. It's actually something even better. It's stability, you guys. Rates are looking steady. Affordability is finally trending in the right direction. So, what this means is if you're thinking about buying a home this year, you need to scan the QR code below, book a 15-minute chat with me so we can build a plan that actually fits for your timeline, not the headlines. That's so important. It's got to fit you and your personal budget. That's so important. It has to fit you and your personal goals.
While the real estate market was normalizing, interiors were having a full personality shift. 2025 design trends moved away from cold, clinical minimalism and all-white everything, and towards warm minimalism with soft neutrals, natural materials, and spaces that actually look lived in. Bold colors came back in a big way. Cobalt blues, warm golden yellows, wine reds, and pattern pops instead of every surface being beige or gray. Warm wood cabinetry and paneling started replacing those high contrast black and white or all white kitchens, and buyers fell in love with homes that felt cozy, layered, and personal instead of like sterile showrooms. On the macro side, Austin in 2025 kept acting like a magnet for businesses and talent, even if the big national headlines cooled down. Inventory rose mostly because more people finally listed and new construction caught up, not because everyone was leaving Austin. For buyers, that meant more options and less pressure. For sellers, it means you actually had to compete on condition, pricing, and lifestyle, especially in popular suburbs and lake communities where buyers now compare 5 houses instead of fighting over one. Now let's talk about 2026, starting with mortgage rates. Most forecasts expect 30-year fixed rates to hover in the low to mid 6% range in 2026, not suddenly plunge into the 4s like we would hope. Think of it as less rates are coming down to save me and more this is the new normal that we plan around. So if you're waiting for a magic rate to appear, the smarter play is buy when the house and the payment makes sense, and then treat any future rate drop as a bonus refinance, not the whole strategy. That mindset is what separates people who actually build equity from the ones who sit on the sidelines for 5 years. It's time to get back into the starter home long-term strategy mindset so you still have money left for furniture once you buy the house to put it in. To put some numbers behind that, here's a quick clip from another lender I work with, Austin Foss, on what he's projecting for 2026 and how he's qualifying buyers right now.
Howdy y'all, Austin Foss here, Senior Loan Advisor with American Capital Home Loans. I think looking forward in 2026, we're going to see a lot more people utilizing non-QM loans, such as bank statement loans, DSCR loans, etc. It seems like more and more people are seeing the opportunity in working for themselves as opposed to working for a corporation. So if you're not taking the time to learn these programs and learn how people can benefit from them, you're probably going to fall behind. Either way, I think 2026 is going to be awesome.
On prices, most Austin forecasts point to a 2026 with slower, more moderate movement. Instead of big swings, think flat to modest appreciation in many neighborhoods with more pressure on overpriced or dated homes. With inventory elevated and months of supply above pre-pandemic levels, 2026 is likely to feel like a balanced to buyer-leaning market overall. In real life, that looks like this. Buyers are going to be pickier. They have more choices, more negotiation power, and fewer multiple offer situations, especially if they're flexible on location or condition. Sellers can still get strong prices if they nail pricing, presentation, and timing, but 2021 name your price days are gone. If you're a seller, watch what your neighbors' homes sell for. Go to the open houses, look at their updates and finishes, and be honest with yourself about how your home compares. Also, it helps if you're realistic about carrying costs and the lifestyle hit if your home sits on the market for months. No more sleeping in on weekends, no more leaving dishes in the sink, no more laundry piles on the floor. There are real benefits to selling quickly, and not all of them show up in the sales price. If you price like it's 2021, the 2026 market will quietly ghost you. Design-wise, everything 2025 started, 2026 will double down on. Expect more warm woods instead of harsh black and white or all-white kitchens, bold color accents like forest greens, wine reds, cobalt blues, in paint, tile, and upholstery, pattern pops in wallpaper, textures, and statement furniture. From a resale perspective, over-the-top, trendy installs may age fast, but warm, layered, lived-in design with quality materials is going to age really well. Buyers are looking for homes that feel like sanctuaries, not sterile office lobbies. If you're renovating before selling, think timeless plus personality, not Instagram trend of the month. When preparing to sell, the 3 renovations that consistently add the most value are a kitchen refresh, a bathroom update, and improving curb appeal. A kitchen redo doesn't have to be a full gut. Swapping dated countertops for quartz, repainting or refacing cabinets, upgrading hardware, and adding modern lighting can completely change the feel and justify a stronger list price. Bathrooms are the next big return area. Clean tile or LVP, an updated vanity and fixtures, good lighting, and a neutral palette that photographs well and screams move-in ready. And curb appeal is often the highest ROI first impression project. Fresh paint or touch-ups, a new front door or hardware, cleaned up landscaping, and clear, welcoming entry lighting help buyers feel confident before they even step inside, which can translate into stronger offers and less time on market. Here are a few of my spicier predictions for 2026 in Austin. The gap between A-plus homes and meh homes is going to widen. Well-presented, well-located homes will still move fast and close strong. Fixer-uppers and dated properties will sit or get hammered in price. Cash investors will keep buying homes that need a lot of work. Any investor needing a mortgage is going to struggle to make the numbers work. If you're prepping to sell, knock out as many projects ahead of time so you can attract a buyer who will actually live in your home. Suburbs and lake communities will keep gaining steam as people trade a shorter commute for more space, better schools, and lifestyle amenities. Sellers who refuse to adjust to this new market will quietly become 2026's cautionary tales. Long days on market, price cuts, and expired listings. So what does all of this mean if you're thinking about making a move in 2026? If you're a buyer, this is the first time in years you can actually be picky about payments, neighborhoods, and conditions without feeling like you're in a Black Friday doorbuster. If you're a seller, you can still win big, but only if you treat this like the professional market it is. Prep the house, price strategically, and market the lifestyle, not just the square footage. If you're in the Austin or Lake Travis area and you want a customized 2026 game plan, whether that's buying, selling, or just getting a hold versus move analysis, hit the link in the description and I'll send you a personalized breakdown. Subscribe to the channel Living in Lake Travis for more Austin market updates and drop your spiciest 2026 real estate prediction in the comments. The algorithm loves controversy and this market is giving us plenty to talk about. I'm Ellen Steele with Steele Portfolio Real Estate. Lake Travis is waiting for you.